did wrong, right, did right? I mean, is there a lot of that, or is there not much of that?
There's a lot of that across the board. I mean, for me and everybody else, I mean, I'm very hard on myself. I'm very critical at ball placement inches here and there. You know, I'm very hard on myself with that. So I know going into the meeting what I have a very good idea of what coach is going to tell me. You know, he knows that because he knows I watched the film and that whole thing, and yeah, just learning from it and going forward.
Are you able to boil it down to one or two key things when it's a close game, and you could probably look at a lot of what ifs and game back. So like, okay, I need to take one or two things moving forward, or do you try to absorb everything?
I absorb everything, have to, because football, you know, we say it'll come down to one play. Oh, if they made this one play, but at the end of the day, like I was just saying, it should have never came down to that. Whether even if it was that, the touchdown, not touchdown that Brian had, it should not come down to that one play. We should have put a lot more points up on the board as an offense, and I think that we did a good job moving the ball. We just need to finish the drives and continue to do that. But yeah, I'm going to be hard on myself on every throw, every read, everything that I go forward with, and I think that's a good part of my game that I'm very hard on myself.
What's the challenge for you in the red zone? It's obviously you're closer to the goal line, but it's a shorter field.
No doubt. I mean, it's a lot. It's harder than you think, just because the DBs don't have to go anywhere. They're not going to back up because they're in the end zone already. It's challenging, and I think that as an offense, we've had discussions as to how we're going to attack that and how we can be better in that.
Do you mind sharing who's around your neck there?
Yeah, this is my grandmother. Yeah, my grandma, my mom's mom.
Why is it important for you to wear that?
Well, I didn't make this public, but my grandmother had passed away last week. The Friday night before Wyoming, and I found out after the game. Obviously, my parents told me after, which I respected them for, to not have me emotional. That, because me and her were very close, and yeah, just keep it with me.
What's her name?
Maria.
Maria.
Mm.
Yeah, that's just your mom's mom.
Yes.
Oh, that's okay.
She's very involved in your life then.
Very, yeah. Yeah, she lived with us for a little while, so COVID was kind of good because, I was home, especially on the East Coast. Everything was shut down, so we were very, it was very serious. I don't know how crazy it was here, but we were locked down for months, so we spent every single day together all day. So it was special to me to have that time.
If you don't mind, what's one thing you think how she shaped you? What's one part of you that you think reflects her?
Toughness. That's it. Toughness. I don't want to get into anything, too sensitive or personal, but she was on hospice and she was given 3 months to live 3 years ago.
Oh my.
So she was fighting for 3 years. She got COVID, made it through COVID. She was just been fighting that whole time, and that's one thing I'm gonna remember her forever, and she'll always be with me.
Was she back home?
Thank you.
Was she back home, like in New Jersey?
She had just gone down to Florida.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We're sorry about that.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
How did you compartmentalize that? You find out Saturday after what was kind of a high moment for you. How did you deal with that going into the schedule doesn't really stop? How did you handle that?
Right. I mean, it was a lot. I mean, obviously, I kind of knew what was coming at some point. Obviously, she's been dealing with a lot, but really just being in the facility. I think there was only a handful of people I know. I honestly don't think any of the players knew. This is the first time me saying it out loud. Obviously, Coach B knew, Coach Lenny knew, a couple of the coaching staff knew, but just being around the guys and being able to be in a football environment and all that just really took my mind off of it. Obviously, when I get home, kind of hurts just talking to family and stuff, but to be in here and to be around the guys really just helped keep my energy up and made it a lot easier.
Were you the apple of her eye? Were you her?
I was her first
you were the
grandchild.
oh my.
First
Okay.
grandchild.
Okay. So pretty favorite.
Yes.
You got a lot of
I would like
we got
that
a lot of money from her probably over there.
No doubt.
A lot of
No
nice.
doubt. No doubt.
I had one of those, so that's pretty cool.
When you were in quarantine, she was living with you guys. What kind of stuff did you guys do together? Just during the day, being inside a lot of time?
Puzzles, everything. So she's Costa Rican.
Okay.
Full blown, straight off the boat. My grandfather is German. That's on my mom's side. My mom's German and Costa Rican. My dad's full Italian. So they met in Ellis Island, whole deal. So she's very upbeat, very small, kind of darker skin tanner. That's where I kind of get my tan from. We got to keep it though. But just puzzles, anything. She used to joke around. So she was bedridden. So I would, and here we go. I'd help her get out of the bed, she her out, put her in the wheelchair, and kind of just wheel her around the house, take her on the deck outside when it was nicer days out. Really just spending every day with her, because every time I saw her, she was the nicest woman you would ever meet, the sweetest person. And she always said, "God bless you," every single time. "Oh, you look great. God bless you." She was very sweet and just really just puzzles anything. Watching TV, just seeing her smile, just brighten my day up every single day. And I would not change that time for the world.
What did she call it? Did you just call you Tommy, or did she call you?
She called me Tommy. She called me Baby Doll.
Baby doll.
Baby Doll. Yep. She's like, "Hi, Baby Doll." And that was it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I guess how much does that time maybe put things in perspective? Obviously, you can't play football, but when you go back to football, I know when you're dealing with why football's kind of your life all day. Like, how much does that kind of put things into perspective? If that makes sense.
I mean, football helps me value my time. You know, when I'm here, I'm thinking about football. You know, it's one of the things we talk about coming into the building is when we're here to be here. That was hard for me this past week going into it, the first couple of days was really just because obviously that's in the back of my head, it's on my mind all the time. You know, I wear it around my neck, and to be able to be here and just focus on this was very important because I knew the task that we had at hand, and I knew the opponent that we were going against with the first Big Ten opponent. I just wish we came out of it a little different.
Were you able to go back? Has there been services for her yet, or are they coming out?
No, we're working on that with the bye
Okay,
week
so
coming
you'll
up.
be able to go. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry to be bouncing back and forth
No,
here.
you're good,
Virginia,
you're good.
what's the challenge for, I guess, a relatively new scheme? You only got one game of tape to see. So do you feel like, there's a clear path there, or do you kind of have to adapt and see what's going on?
Right, so I think that's kind of been the theme with these first 3 games. With the week 0 game with an opponent like Wyoming going back, first game, week 1, you really don't know what you're going to get. So we kind of adapt to that. And then last week, same thing, they hadn't played a game yet with a new defensive coordinator and their head coach, so they kind of had to adapt to that. And now, with 1 week under their belt, things are going to change. They're going to get better from week 1 to week 2. So really just being out there and adapting to everything that comes out. And I think that's a great thing about this offense is that it's not too, oriented about exactly what defense is, where you could just make plays with whatever defense you're playing against.
So is there a time in the game where you and Barry make the most adjustments? Is it after the first series? Is it after the first quarter? Is it halftime? Is there a time when you really do the most sort of analyzing?
Right, it's really, I wouldn't say there's a specific time where we do the most, but it's after every drive. We kind of go down, sit on the bench, and just talk through every play that we got there. And whether that's going up and down, talking to people that are in the box, and really just communicating what defenses they were in, what we were seeing, if that's what we were expecting, if it's something different, and then move on and go to the next drive and kind of do the same thing going forward.
How have you seen the development of that interior of the offensive line over the first 2 games?
Right, it's been good. So obviously last week we did not have Julian out there, so to be able to have another guy just step up and be in rotation was awesome. To have that group still be meshed together and really be able to communicate, that's the biggest thing, especially with an offensive line. So I think they did a good job with that, and really just going forward, I've seen the strides that have been taken from week 1 of spring ball to the end of spring ball to camp to now to going against a new defense, because our defense structure is different than we're seeing in these first 2 games, and then with this game coming up, it's going to be different. So for them to transition and mentally make that jump has been awesome to see, and I'm proud of them.
Barry said he challenged you this past week to make plays with your feet if they were there. Is that a positive coming out of Friday night, that you were able to find that medium between in the pocket and picking up some third downs with your feet?
No doubt, yeah. It was something that we've discussed going into that week, that if stuff's not there, use your legs. I have legs, use them. I mean, I like to think I move around a little bit, not too much. I don't want to make a living off it, but got a couple first downs when I needed to and try to help move the chains, just keep the offense on the field. That was our biggest thing, was just keep the chains moving by any means necessary.
You took some shots Friday. Are you fine? I felt fine. Normal game.
All
Post-game.
good, yeah, all good.
Were you
Just,
able to relax a little bit on Saturday, or did you watch football? Did you watch the
I
other
watched
games?
football all day. That's all I did. So yeah, we didn't get in until 3:30, 4 o'clock Saturday morning, and then came in, watched the film, did some treatment, and then just literally laid down, and just watched football all day.
Do you watch old school or no?
I did, yeah.
You did.
I did.
You
Yeah.
got friends there, right?
Yeah, all my boys on the team. Yeah, I was
Do
happy
you
for them. They got the
make
win.
any communication back and forth with them? Did you
Yeah.
text anybody and say, "Hey, good
Yeah.
job"?
Oh,
or-
no doubt. Yeah,
Okay.
100%. Yeah, we're on FaceTime the next day talking, chopping it up. The whole deal. They're still my brothers. We were together for a long time. And that's not going to change.
So you want them to win every game too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Ryan caught that?
You
Yes.
can't get in trouble.
If I'm not getting in trouble, 100%. I think the media knows that. It's all over Twitter.